What's good, everybody? What's going on? This is the first official video of 2026. What's good with you, JoJo? What's good with you, Betty? What's good with you, Mom Ruth? Where's everybody coming from? What state? Um, this is the pilot episode. So starting tomorrow, I will be having members only live streams. And we're about to get into this video. But 1 second before I do. Alright, so now, what's good, everybody? Welcome to EKNTW. EKNTW is because I have 5 different companies, and I just put them all together and turned it into a brand name. So the E stands for Intruso, the K stands for K&D Vending, the N stands for Never Late Medical, the T stands for The Black Introvert, and the W stands for Was Never Media, where we talk about entrepreneurship, business, growth, and building legacies. I'm your host, Keandre, and today we're going crazy. But this video is only going to be 30 minutes. Normally, I would do 9-hour videos, but just to get in the waters, we're going to be reacting to a video. So let me get that video up right here, which is 30 minutes of the best financial decisions for 2026. And I will start the 9-hour video tomorrow.
Don't get the truck. You don't need the truck. You don't need a $60,000, $70,000 truck.
I promise you, you can take a 90-day break from Instagram and do nothing else. And I guarantee you that in a couple weeks, you will find your mood to be better.
If you get money for Christmas, don't spend it. Save it. Invest it. Put it in an appreciating asset.
Okay, so today we're starting off the year on a positive note. We're going to be taking a look at people's best financial decisions they've made. We have a lot of stuff to go over today, along with comments from you guys from previous videos. So if you want to be featured on a future video, leave in the comments down below. But let's just jump right into all the fads of 2025.
2025 is coming to an end, so let's talk about things I'm glad I did not buy this year. We are starting off strong with Labubu's. That was like all the rage, I would say, for most of this year. I feel like it died down like the past 2 or 3 months. And honestly, I'm going to throw in like Smiskies and Sunny Angels as well. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing with all these things? Do you really picture yourself keeping it for the rest of your life? And I don't know, are you passing it down to your children or something? I don't know. Because in my eyes, I'm like, oh, they're going to throw this away in like a year or two. But I don't know. We'll see. The next thing are these glass cups. Most of them are from Anthropologie, but I know that they sell them at Target now because I've been seeing it online. And this is another thing where people are just collecting a bunch of these things. And I think they're really cute. I just don't see the point in having a bunch of them. I feel like there's so many fashion ones, but recently I was thinking about these patterned Sherpas. Honestly, I might just say anything that has a really funky pattern. I'm just somebody who's been really focused on building a capsule wardrobe and buying more simple clothing. It just seems like one of those things where I think it's cute in the moment and that I feel like I'm probably going to get rid of in a couple months, and that's not what I'm trying to do.
Style starts with the details. The difference between mid and next level, a real gold chain that hits. Lifetime guarantee.
You guys let me know what you're glad you didn't buy in 2025.
We could go right over to the comments. Labubu's again, bag charms, whatever trendy water bottle was popular this year, the new iPhone, anything from the TikTok shop. The sellers are getting absolutely ridiculous. Home decor, candles, I don't even know how to say that. Moi Moi glasses, dupes, so they're the replicas. Beaded bags, we talked about that in an overconsumption video. Didn't even know it existed until we found a user who had 50 plus of these bags, most of them still with the tags on it, never using them. But even going back to a couple of trends similar to Labubu's, Smiskies and Sunny Angels, just more figures to collect. But they came in and out of trends so quickly that I didn't even know what they were. And of course, it seems like it'll never end. The fast fashion, all the trends that go in and out of style within, just a few months at this point, all ends up being a waste of money at the end of the day. I asked you guys what some of your best financial decisions you were on an older video. Stopping at 2 tattoos and not going into debt, covering myself from head to toe. We've seen that before. Not getting into any type of debt with credit cards, eating my pride and moving back in with my parents. I've been able to get out of debt, fully buy a used vehicle, and save.
What are some of the best financial decisions you ever made? Somebody said, stopping at 2 tattoos and not going into debt, covering myself head to toe. Well, if y'all would actually like pay y'all tattoos and let them actually mean something, because I'm actually I'm getting tattoos, but I'm like, it's like things that made me who I am. Not getting any type of debt with credit cards, that's a plus. Eating my pride and moving back with parents, I've been able to get out of debt, fully buy a used vehicle, save up thousands and thousands, that's good. Writing my spending in a notebook got me out of debt ever since. Staying away from credit cards for sure, that's a fact. Not taking loans to complete college.
Up thousands. We're going to talk about that a little bit later. Writing my spendings in a notebook got me out of debt ever since. Being able to actually see what you buy and track it will make you much more conscious about every single purchase instead of just swiping the card or tapping using Apple Pay. You don't actually see the money coming out of your bank account. Staying away from credit cards again and not taking out loans to complete college. We'll also be talking about that a little bit later. But for the next clip, I know we're a little late. Christmas just happened, but still, I bet many people didn't take this advice and are now in some pretty deep debt.
If you get money for Christmas, don't spend it. Save it. Invest it. Put it in an appreciating asset. Don't be an idiot.
This is your reminder this holiday season to not go into debt financing Christmas gifts that people are going to forget about in 3 weeks. There's nothing cute about being a Klarna Bay.
Listen, we just finished paying off our credit card that we've had a balance on for maybe like 2 to 3 years. And majority of the balance that was on that card was from Christmases of the past. We were never prepared for Christmas, and we always had to put it on credit cards, and we just barely paid it off for 3 years later. So here's your reminder, you don't need to go into debt to pay off Christmas. You don't want to be paying this Christmas gift off in 3 years. I promise you, it's super annoying, and they probably won't be playing with any of the toys that you bought. So don't do it. Save up your money, pay for things in cash. If you can't pay for a lot, then have them talk about it and make Christmas special in other ways. Don't go in credit card debt for Christmas.
I would say especially if you're going into debt to buy your kids presents, if they are at a younger age where they just want every single toy that they see, most likely unless it's the main present that they want, they're going to use it for a couple weeks at best, and then it's just going to go into the pile with the rest of the toys. Never to be played with again and eventually thrown out, but that was still money in your bank account at one time. However, we're going to go back to the guy who made the Klarna comment, because in recent news, the Klarna glitch has gained a lot of popularity. If you didn't know anything about the Chase Bank glitch that was just bank fraud, it's in a pretty similar realm, and yeah, not giving your account to somebody, especially with your social security number, would be a pretty good financial decision.
The method is Klarna. That's how they're doing it. I got a text, oh, you want to make money? I said no. He said, oh, well, I use Klarna. Come on. I'm good. Why would I want to give you my Klarna account with my SSN to max it out and then I'd be in debt? Somebody's gonna say 10K right up front. Mm-mm. Your credit score is going to be the size of your shoe if you keep messing around. No thanks.
Okay, so basically what's happening right now is people are just straight up committing fraud. They are maxing out Klarna accounts and buying a whole bunch of different items to possibly resell. I've seen a lot of iPhones going into Best Buy in general, electronics, spending thousands or tens of thousands of dollars. However, there are clearly consequences to this if you do this on your own Klarna account. They report back and hurt your credit score, obviously, if you don't pay it back. I wouldn't be surprised down the road they would start suing people, but others are stealing social security numbers currently, creating a Klarna account in your name, and then racking up the debt. So this is something you need to be very aware of. That's why I have a whole scam series on this channel. But yeah, in the same way that people were showing off the Chase Bank glitch and then getting into 5-6 figures worth of debt because they thought it was free money, we now have the Klarna glitch, or the Klarna method. And we can take a look at the comments right here. They didn't learn after the Chase glitch, aka bank fraud. People don't care about their credit till they have to get an apartment or car insurance and you're denied or paying triple. Pretty sure they show up on your credit report now too. Yes, they do. No one's doing this using their SSN. They're buying someone else's and using that. But from the clip we just saw, we have people trying to trick others into giving them their Klarna account with their social security number, racking it up, trying to make it sound like it's free money when it's obviously not. We have a comment from you guys right here. Never going out to eat and cooking my meals at home is #1 for 2025. Not only did I save money but lost 30 pounds as well. Never touching fast food again. Well, speaking of detoxing some of the negative things in your life, I think this will become increasingly more common in 2026 as well.
I promise you, you can take a 90-day break from Instagram and do nothing else. And I guarantee you that in a couple weeks, you will find your mood to be better. And 2, start working on your health. Go to the gym. I'm going to get off Instagram. I'm going to go to the gym. Guarantee you feel better in a month.
You got to get like that energy out because it's energy.
And I'm not saying you got to become a strongman competition. You can go to the gym, walk 30 minutes on a treadmill at 3 on incline.
Or
nothing crazy.
What I've been doing is walking outside.
We could go over to the comments before I say anything. Off everything but TikTok. I'm off of Instagram now. I feel like I got to get off of TikTok. Something about taking an Instagram break makes me a better person. Every time I deactivate social media, my mental health significantly improves. I know this is pretty ironic talking about it on a social media platform like YouTube, but it is a bit different comparing it to Instagram, TikTok, X, or Twitter. And I would say specifically Instagram and Twitter are probably the most toxic. To be honest, TikTok is pretty bad, but I need to get clips for these videos. So staying away from these types of sites will definitely help your mental health. And of course, any sort of exercise. You don't have to be a powerlifter or a bodybuilder. Just being more active in your day-to-day life will significantly help you because most people have very sedentary lifestyles now. We have another comment from you guys here. Deleting social media was one of the best decisions I've ever made for multiple reasons, including not seeing or comparing myself and trying to keep up with anyone. I just live in my oblivious little bubble and do my own thing. Another one of the positives I didn't talk about, along with all the toxicity on social media platforms, so many people are just trying to sell you crap. Whether it's the sponsored post on TikTok or influencers on Instagram. If you don't see any of that whatsoever, you're obviously not going to be inclined to purchase these items, which in the long run will really help your wallet.
Don't get the truck. You don't need the truck. You don't need a $60,000, $70,000 truck. You don't need a $1,500, $2,000 truck note every month. You say you need a reliable vehicle. That's just an excuse to get the truck you want because you want it. All right? Let's just say the vehicle you got right now breaks down and you got to pay $2,000 to have it fixed. That's one time. If you get a new truck and let's just say the note's $1,000, that's $1,000 every month. Do some math, some quick math, brother. All right, you could go find you like a $15,000 truck with a few miles on it, and you could even talk them down a little bit more. Get a good deal on a really decent truck. I wouldn't get no 2026 truck. Hell no, those prices are way too high. They have lost their minds. People have lost their minds.
Imagine being able to build an app with your name on it, just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44.
I get that some people genuinely need pickup trucks for their jobs, but sometimes it also becomes their identity, so they want the biggest and baddest they possibly could get, and a good amount of the times that means they can't actually afford it. And even though this was good advice in my opinion, the comment section was not great. Everybody just posting their brand new pickup trucks. Why didn't you post this earlier, Unk? I don't care.
So he is giving, so this is a person that said that was giving good info. But these people were posting their trucks that they got. Wow.
Care with a big Ram 1500. Why not the 2026? It was just photo after photo, so I know I'm just yelling into the void when it comes to some people. You can't really change their ways, you have to let them make their own mistakes, but we could also lump in the family vehicles while we're at it.
Alright, who else is rocking double car seats in a full-size car, sedan? Not the SUV, not the big SUV, minivan, whatever. We're talking sedan, mid-size, full-size.
We have 2 car seats in our Honda Civic. It's annoying, but we don't have a car payment, so it works. 2 kids and a dog, we just pack wisely, it's fine. But people are influenced so much that when they have their first kid, they immediately need to get a mid-size or full-size SUV. Just way over the top, especially when it comes to pricing. I mean, one of my neighbors has a kid with a car seat, and they drive around everywhere in a Honda Accord. You don't have to get the Tahoe or the Suburban or something like that, bringing in another $1,000 car payment that you're going to have to deal with for 72 months.
Here's how to save money in any retail store. You're going to walk in, you're going to keep your eyes on the ground at all times. The more things you look up at, the more money you're going to spend. Then you turn around and leave and go back home, because if you spend money, you're not saving a penny. The best way to save is to not spend anything.
So that was short and sweet. I thought it was pretty funny. That's why I wanted to put it in here, but it did go with a comment from you.
My husband has really been on me about saving money lately because we paid for our wedding and honeymoon this year, and so we definitely need to financially recover. He also just makes fun of me all the time because I'm quite the overconsumer. The first thing I will be buying in 2026 is any type of high-end expensive face wash. There's literally no reason, in my opinion, to go to Sephora and pay like $50 for face wash. Next thing I feel like is on a lot of people's no-buy list. That is cheap, bad quality, fast fashion pieces. Past year, I've started to try and step into like a staple capsule wardrobe. I really want to stop buying clothes just because they're like trendy right now. Next thing I want to quit buying is any type of cheap jewelry. I've actually always been kind of decent at this one, mainly because I only want to buy jewelry if I can wear it in the shower and not have to take it off and it won't tarnish. Something I really want to stop doing in 2026 is going on like solo coffee dates. We were gifted an espresso machine for our wedding. Not to toot my own horn or anything, but I honestly prefer the coffees that I make at home compared to the $8 lattes that I buy at a coffee shop.
Okay, so the coffee one for me recently, I've started to see how much they actually were. If you decide to buy one of these fancy machines for your house, they are hundreds, I mean up to $500-600 I saw. And for many people, that doesn't mean that they're cutting out the Starbucks or Dunkin' Donuts completely. They would spend a massive amount of money for their machine at home, and then when they were out, they were still buying an $8 coffee each time from Starbucks. That's crazy to me. Another thing that helps stop with the impulse buying and consumerism, we have a comment from you guys, putting all the things that I want in my Amazon cart and then not buying them for a month. The number of items that I move to save for later and don't purchase is amazing. The convenience of online shopping just on your phone will get people to buy things that they don't really want, and being able to realize and stop that will definitely help your bank account. Now the next one we have here is a lot more common than I thought. We've seen similar examples to this very often on this channel recently.
I woke up this morning to a message on Facebook from a girl that I was really close with growing up, and obviously we aren't close anymore because she's messaged me on Facebook. She was asking for $20 for gas money because times were really hard financially for all of us. And I almost sent it because I'm thinking, like, if $20 is going to solve like all of your problems right now, it's a low point in your life. But then I noticed there were messages above it, and I scrolled up. Well, the last time we have spoke was in 2021. The low point in my life was when my little sister died in 2023. And there's nothing there. So good luck with that gas money.
Mr. Claus.
Okay, so there's a couple things that I want to talk about. Of course, another example of trying to guilt trip people into giving you money, even your past friends and family members. There's been a lot of examples from the Dave Ramsey show about this. Clearly, they don't care about you. They just want the $20 and they'll disappear. Or possibly something else that's happening is that they got hacked. With the amount of data leaks and breaches happening all the time with really any company you could think of, getting your accounts hacked and people trying to scam has become a lot more common. So that could be a possibility too. Some sort of scammer goes and messages everybody on your friends list asking for just $20. You know, it's not that bad. They'll possibly get a couple people feeling guilty, and then they'll run to another hacked account over and over again. I'm not saying that's exactly what happened here, but it could be a possibility and something you need to be aware of. A girl from my school messaged me on Facebook asking for money. money. And I said that I'm starting a new job so I don't get paid for 2 weeks. She left me on red and then asked me 2 weeks later. My best friend in high school asked me to let her boyfriend stay with me for a night because the homeless shelters weren't accepting him. I live 3 hours from her and we haven't spoken in a good 4 years. Yeah, that does not seem like the best situation. But we can move on going over to some good old-fashioned de-influencing.
In case the world made you forget, going into debt for your wedding is not normal. Paying $300 a month for a gym membership is not normal. Traveling internationally every year is not normal. And buying lunch at your 9 to 5 every day is not normal. Got you. Needing roommates in your mid to late 20s is normal. Buying clothes secondhand or at a thrift store is normal. Not maxing out your Roth or 401k is normal. Leasing a luxury car in your 20s is not normal. Spending $200 on a night out, not normal.
Now these are pretty simple and straightforward, but when we go over to the comment section, it was funny to see that one of his takes, everybody got up in arms about. You lost me at the international travel one. Traveling internationally every year is normal, especially if it's once a year. He replied to this one, the vast majority of people probably aren't traveling internationally every year. Traveling internationally is not normal, he replies again, it's definitely a privilege. Agreed with everything, but traveling is a must every year. We deserve it. Starting to sound like some of the guests on the financial audit. I'm not saying that nobody should travel, period. If you have the money and the means to do so, that's completely fine. But saying things like we deserve it if you don't have the funds, thinking that it's normal spending a ton of money for the flights, the hotels, Airbnb, whatever travel plans people decide to have is not normal, especially in today's climate, because it could be very expensive. Again, if you have funds to do so and you're not going into debt to travel, I think that's completely fine. But just trying to normalize going on vacations constantly when most people go into debt for it is not a good decision whatsoever. Now we can switch over to something that's a little bit different from most of the clips that we see on this channel. I know most of the time I just sound like you have to be frugal 24/7, not spend a dime, but there are still purchases you could have that make your quality of life way better.
What has the best money spent to life improvement ratio? Something you didn't spend a lot of money on, but it has improved your life greatly.
The wristbands that keep water from running down your arms when you wash your face. I feel like that would actually be pretty solid. A bidet for sure. Use it every day and genuinely is the greatest life improvement. I have to take their word for it with that one. I heard that whenever you spend money that gives you back more time, then you've spent that money well. I agree with that as well. Same thing as I said before though. As long as you have the money to do so and you're not going into debt. We have other comments, AirPods, grocery delivery, $20 a month gym membership, YouTube Premium, all of those ads add up for the time wasted. And I rather YouTube Music to Spotify. I think personally, I have the exact same thought. The way I use YouTube is the way a lot of people use Netflix, Peacock, Hulu, all of the other streaming services. So for me, YouTube Premium along with the music benefits me a lot more than the other services. A home gym, all my machines are always open and I can lift whenever from home, and a good mattress, spending almost half of my life laying on it. So I know it sounds like I'm trying to be cheap as possible in a lot of my videos to save money, but there are some things that could be genuinely good purchases, even if they are a bit on the expensive side, but will increase your quality of life greatly.
Here are 4 expensive items I see financially irresponsible young people buying that drives me crazy. And this all has to do with what I like to call lifestyle creep or lifestyle inflation. Once you start buying nicer things, once you start getting used to and accustomed to those nice things, you will never go back to wanting the cheaper option. And I'm not saying don't enjoy the fruits of your labor, just be very careful that what you choose to upgrade is something that's sustainable for like how much money you're making and the lifestyle that you want to live. The first one, and arguably the worst one, is bottle service. Bottle service can be hundreds or even thousands of dollars per person, and I've done it. It's a lot of fun, but it is never even remotely close to being worth the money. The second, and this is what I see probably the most amount of young people do as they get more money, like earn higher income, is they buy watches, they buy jewelry, they buy designer handbags, they buy all these accessories. And
okay, so hold on 1 second.
income is they buy watches, they buy jewelry.
All right, so yes, I buy watches, but it seems as if my watches cost a lot. Because y'all would see the price tag on them, you would think I spent that much. But I didn't. You would see what the price was on the tag. But what I paid for was way cheaper. Because the price for one watch, I bought 2 for the price of 1. So I bought 2 watches for the price of 1. Like I would go to get my watches. I would go to an outlet mall. and they got sales on watches.
They buy designer handbags, they buy all these accessories, and you don't need them. And I'm not saying that every purchase needs to be a utilitarian purchase, but like think about it for a second. Are you getting that because you genuinely enjoy it or because it's a flex? And I'm not saying that like all of them are necessarily horrible purchases, but
I generally enjoy watches. Like I love watches, I love cars, tattoos, but I'm not gonna go in debt for those things.
you're not going to sit here and tell me that like Loro Piana, the quality of it is like worth the money. It's not. You could buy like 100 sweaters for the price of one Loro Piana sweater. Like I don't believe you that it's worth the money. The third one is renting a super expensive apartment straight out of college. I'm of the opinion when you're a young person, your apartment is really only a place that you put your head down to sleep for 8 hours a night.
Anyone who's looking for a simple way to start a business, Taylor Brands is the way to go. From forming the LLC EIN number.
Okay, so we got a couple things to go over. First, the bottle service I think is crazy. I thought in general clubs and that kind of culture was really dying down. For more of the younger generation, people aren't going out to bars or drinking nearly as much. I'm seeing a lot of clips on TikTok showing clubs on Friday, Saturday night just being completely dead. So spending hundreds or thousands of dollars on bottle service is just wild. Alright, sorry about the awkward jump cut. My camera overheated, so I needed to deal with that real quick. But the other things he was talking about were pretty common issues. People buying jewelry and designer to flex on others, making it look like they're rich. The same thing with an apartment. I understand where he's coming from. You should be a lot more social and active when you're younger, but others do the same thing with apartments, buying way more than they actually need, it being wildly expensive as well, just to show off that, oh look, I live here. Then it makes it way harder when you realize that you can't actually afford it and you have to downgrade your lifestyle, and then you have to explain to everybody that you don't really have that kind of money. We can go over to one of the comments that goes well with the next clip. The fact that people roast others for living with their parents is beyond me. You look at other cultures and people do live with their families. They help each other out. Community is key.
One thing I refuse to do is let a girl shame me into moving out of my parents' house. I said I live... One thing I refuse to do is let a girl shame me into moving out of my parents' house. I said I live with my parents. I didn't say I'm not saving. You trying to shame me just shows me that you're just some financially illiterate person. I don't even want to deal with you in the first place. I said I live with my mum and dad, the two people that love me the most in life. They have allowed me to save for a house. Why am I trying to move out for you?
Very similar to the previous clip talking about the apartments to show off to others. I know that there are some examples where the kids just mooch off of their parents, they don't have a job, they don't really do anything, and it really gives a bad rap for everybody else doing the same. I don't have to tell you how difficult the job market is, housing prices, the overall cost of living is insane, so if you can stay with your parents and save up as much money as possible, it'll put you way farther ahead financially. Now we could go over to a clip that we don't see too often, a positive outcome from the financial audit.
Woo! $5,275.27 gone.
Yes.
33.24% interest. That's incredible. What are we seeing with this one main?
That is the loan payment.
So you paid off the other $3,729?
Yes.
Incredible, because that was at 35.99. And we're looking at like $9,000 of high interest debt paid off. That's fantastic. Your debt minimum monthly payments at the time were $1,160, which was obviously chunky. That was about a third.
Yeah.
We were sitting at $282. Should have been pretty manageable. Looks like it was. It's gone.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Credit one. I don't know which credit
That
one
was
this is.
the 600 and something one. That was
And that's gone.
Yeah, that's gone.
Woo! $668 at 30% gone.
The interest rates on those credit cards were brutal. 30 to 35% each. At least they are all paid off. You don't see that too often on the financial audit. 35% interest should be illegal. Finally, a responsible person on one of these shows. Nothing feels better than no debt. Caleb being happy is strange. Love seeing these follow-ups. Great job. So yeah, even though it's few and far between on a lot of the guests with this show, there are some good outcomes, which is nice to see.
The biggest financial decision you'll make is choosing the right partner. The right person is a multiplier on your shared ambitions and goals. The wrong one could drain your bank account. This is Joe. We met at a university pitch competition. I was the MC and he was one of the founders pitching. We've been together for 4 years now, and I guarantee you I would not be where I am today without him.
I know I talk about this a lot with many different financial topics, but I say it because it's true. Your partner is going to be one of the most important aspects of your life. Of course, obviously spending the rest of your lives together, but if you're not on the same financial page, it will almost always end in flames. If one of you's a saver, the other one's a spender, it's just going to be problems down the road. But if you both have a plan and stick to it, it could be a lot better than you going at it alone. We have another comment from you guys right here. My best financial decision was not going to college. I didn't know what I wanted to do as a career in high school, and I'm so glad that I didn't go into debt for a worthless degree. That goes very well with this next clip.
I was 21. I made a critical decision that likely saved my entire career and financial future. Let me tell you exactly what that was in case you are at the risk of falling into this exact trap. As the daughter of Asian immigrants, it's not uncommon at all that the knee-jerk reaction for every parent is to push their children to get more degrees. So get an MBA, go and get a law degree, go and do, PhD, whatever. They're obsessed with it. And I said to my mom, I think I'm just going to go to work. And my mom said, no, I will pay for your law degree. Pay. That's funny because she didn't really pay for my bachelor's degree. I worked a ton of jobs just to make it, right? I had to skip out on buying some school textbooks because that's how low I was running on cash. And so I still have student debt from bachelor's degree. And she's over here preaching, trying to bribe me to trust her that she's going to pay for my degree just to kind of bribe me to go for a law degree.
Are you looking to start your own business? Well, look no further than busy.com. Right now, we'll complete your
Now we have a couple things to talk about. First, with the family members, a lot of parents want to either live vicariously through their kids or be able to show off that, look, my kid has a law degree, a PhD, even though now they're in a crippling amount of debt or possibly in an entire field that they didn't want to go to in the first place. And the other issue, basically lying to her daughter saying that she was going to pay for it just to try to bribe her to get that degree. That's a pretty crazy thing to do in my opinion, and along with having to be very on top of what degrees do well right now in this economy, you could possibly rack up a whole bunch of certificates, degrees, PhDs, and still be in a pretty bad spot in today's job market. I'm not saying that you shouldn't go to college, but along with the comment from before, you should definitely have a game plan start to finish. We could take a look at some of the comments here. 100%. Some of us were taught the only way to become successful was to get numerous degrees from universities. There are just so many things that aren't taken into account when going into that path. And most of that time, that means an unbelievable amount of debt. But we could finish off this video with a little bit of advice for people who are currently doing well right now. I think it is pretty obvious, especially if you look at the influencer sphere on social media. People are getting really tired of seeing luxury and super expensive lifestyles being shoved into our face. But we'll just roll the clip.
One tip that I learned from the people in my life who are the best with their money is to pretend that you don't have it. The key to having money is to live like you're broke. And I don't mean be a complete cheapskate and never allow yourself anything and never go on vacation, but once you enter that next level, that next promotion, whatever, don't all of a sudden break your lease, get a brand new apartment, get a new car, do all of these things, because you're going to be in the same rat race that you were before. Your bank account is going to stay the same because now your expenses are higher. So it's like, yes, you might be like up leveling your life in certain aspects, but you're actually still going to be in the same position.
That's how I did it. The key to having money is acting like you don't. Acting like you don't. So from freshman to high school, all those years, I focused on building on myself. In the 5 years I gave the job I worked for, I was just saving up money to build up a company so that I wouldn't have to work for, other people. And a lot of people would call me Big Money Dre. But at the same time, I wasn't in no fancy car. Like, I never owned a Mercedes. I never owned a BMW. So from 2012 to 2017, I went from, I used to have a 2008 Chevrolet Impala. I drove that car like until 2016. Then I traded in that car for a Chevrolet Cruze. That was the best car I've ever driven because it had the certain things to where it would only cost $20 just to fill the gas tank up. Just to fill the gas tank up. And this is the key to having money, is acting like you don't have it. Acting like you don't got it. You know, a lot of people are getting tired of watching people who are living extravagant lives, but they're not really happy with the way that they're living. And now I'm doing the opposite, showing people how I actually am living. Because you know how wonderful it is being blessed by God to the point to where everything in this house is covered. Like everything in this house is like covered. Like not having to have a worry about people coming to take nothing from the house. Knowing that our names are on everything that's in here, that's a blessing.
Position. My husband is one of those people where like he has money, but he doesn't spend it in a way that's like performative, or he's not flexing, and he's always saying like, unless I can afford it 4 times over and then some, we don't need it.
And again, this does boil down to lifestyle creep, keeping up with the Joneses, wanting to show off to other people, and along with my own opinion, that's probably not the best thing to show off to the world, especially right now. But that's all I got for you guys today. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. YouTube thinks you'll like this video popping up on screen right now, but hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like, and I'll talk.
Alright, so oh shoot, 1 second. Let me see, before I leave, Burberry, before I leave. Let me see. This is the whiteboard. This is the whiteboard. Happy New Year's to everybody that's watching. So today we it was my mother-in-law's birthday, so we celebrate her birthday, and we're gonna get the ball rolling because I officially have the whiteboard. I pulled it out. So we about to get on it and go to my new channel. So this one right here. This one right here. That is my new channel. Get that one to 50 subscribers so I can go do live streams on there. So I gotta be live streaming on this channel. And I know, like, until I'm able to do members only videos on my new channel, I'm gonna be doing the free trial ones until I'm able to upgrade. So we'll get everything rolling. Everything is gonna be on one accord. Get the super chats going, getting memberships going, work going trying to get some brand deals going. So I heard that you can do 2 live streams at the same. 2 live. Wait. So what do you mean, like, do 2 live streams of the same YouTube channel? Is that what you talking about? Or you talking about streaming on 2 different things? Let me see something real quick. Yeah, I can't do no live streams. I can't do no live streams on my new channel until I get 50 subscribers. So once I get 50 subscribers on my new channel, which is one above where Burberry Drip posted, like, I just need 46 more, and then I can start live streaming, and then we going up. Cause I have a whole workout thing to do for the channel, like doing reps, doing jumping jacks, push-ups, sit-ups. For each sub adds on to my workout. So the more subs I get, the more I work out. So it's up to y'all to choose to subscribe to the channel, help me reach my goal. Because look, I'm doing a run. Oh, hey Burberry. I feel faint. I got some good. Hold up. Let's see. I got these new headphones. These are Beats. How you don't hear me? Let me see something. Hold up. 2 to invest in a headphone set. Yeah, these got a mic on them. Let me see something. Let me see. I'm about to see something. Hold up. Cause I got my it's all the way up. I don't see how. Now, dang. That's crazy because my mic it's all the way up, and even what up? What that sound like? I turn my I got on 100. So what that sound like? One, two, three, four. Yeah, 'cause I just got these Beats Studio Pros that my wife got me for Christmas. You said so should I not have them on? Alright, so when I do that, what am I looking for? What? That's that's crazy. 'Cause my volume is all the way up on my mic, and it's at 100% on my what? That makes like how is my volume the lowest? I sound very far away. Cause I brought my headphones to me. I brought my headphones to me. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. I got you. So what I need to do is I need to purchase some. I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get one of those Rode mics. I'm getting one of those Rode. No, I have a mic. What am I doing? I got a mic. I got you, Burberry. I got you. I got a mic. Yeah, so yeah, so oh, this is the new channel right here. So for me to go live on here, it tells yeah, I'm listening to how I am on my phone while I'm on here. And I'm just going to use the mic I have already. One second. I'm going to show you the mic and then I'm going to be off. Let me see. Let me see. So I'm gonna look for my mic that I have. 'Cause I know I bought one. 'Cause I got it from TikTok Shop. Yeah, 'cause these Beat Studio Pros, they have a mic in them. Testing. Yeah, it's on the left side. Testing. Oh, I got Mike. I got Mike Burberry. I got Mike. I'll hook it up. I'll hook up my mic tomorrow. Yeah, I got mics all in the other room. So it sounds better now. Yeah, I forgot what kind of mics I got. Okay, it's good. It's good. Yeah, so I got mics. I just have to like find all the pieces to put them together. But I have mics. Like I literally have a whole setup for a studio. But because I used to have a whole setup for everything. But I just did this video just just for the start. Just for the start of the so I can be in the algorithm. But tomorrow will be a full 9-hour stream. Wait, what you mean? What can be a little higher? Any criticism is good criticism. That's crazy. Like everything's at 100. Like my value on my laptop is at 100. One, two, huh? How you doing? You too. Yeah. Let's try to find my mic. Alright, peace out, Burberry. Peace out to everybody that joined. You're about to go up. Because normally, I'm about to start my lives early. Like, I'm going to start my lives like, I'm going to take a shower and everything. Like, when the birds wake up, I wake up. So peace, everybody that came into this live, into this stream. We about to go up in 2026. So peace, everybody. Everybody be blessed. Happy New Year's. And I have to bring one of my dust off one of my mics. So peace.